Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala. Our Court TV cameras are covering the biggest cases across the nation. The revenge mom murder retrial for Sheila Agee. And again, she's accused as a principal and first-degree premeditated murder for encouraging, she didn't pull the trigger, she was encouraging her son, Keith, to kill the mother of his child back in April of 2023. 18-year-old Brooklyn Sims was shot and killed at a Home Depot where she worked with Sheila Agee, the defendant in this case. Prosecutors say this all stemmed from claims that Sims gave Keith a sexually transmitted disease. Well, Keith is now serving a life sentence. The defendant could be seen crying during opening statements today when the defense claimed that evidence will show that Agee tried to calm her son down and never encouraged him to harm Sims. All right, let's listen now to a snippet of opening statements from both sides. We're going to start with the defense.
The evidence is going to show that nobody on this side, whether it be the defendant, her mother, her son, other son, Jack, had any concept that Keith was capable of doing this.
If you don't come kill her, you a MF bitch. These are her words to her son, Keith Agee. And that's exactly what he did. It all started August the 11th in the morning, 2023. Keith Agee, her son, received a phone call from a health clinic. That health clinic told him he had tested positive for an STD.
Now, under Florida law, if convicted, she is considered just as culpable as her son, who actually pulled the trigger. All right, we're going to pick up the testimony now with one of the victim's co-workers at Home Depot. It's Cortland Penn, and she's here on direct examination by the state.
Story to my aisle.
Okay. And where were you in relation to where Brooklyn was on the aisle?
I was next to her.
Where did you see the male go?
He walked right past me, so straight past me to Brooklyn.
All right. And when he got to Brooklyn, what did you see at that point?
He really tapped her on the shoulder, and he was like, "You gave me something." And then that's when he pulled the firearm from his pants, like on his waistband.
Okay. You talk really fast. I know you're nervous, just try to slow down. So you see him walk up to Brooklyn.
Yes.
And then you said he tapped her on the shoulder?
Yes.
Okay, and then what did you hear him say?
You gave me something.
Okay. What did Brooklyn do at that point, if
he
anything?
Just gave, well, she really gave him like a blank look. I didn't really hear her say anything.
Okay. And then what do you see next?
That's when he pulled his firearm and then proceeded to shoot.
Did you see where he pulled the firearm from?
His waistband.
Do you remember what color it was?
Black.
Do you know how many times he shot?
Well, the first 3 shots, I got up and ran. So after that, everything else just went off.
Okay. And did you, you said Brooklyn had a blank look.
Yeah.
Did you hear her say anything back?
No.
Could you see at the time of the shooting how were they positioned, Brooklyn and the male?
Face to face.
Okay. Where did you run to?
The back of the store, and then a lady pulled me in the bathroom, and then I proceeded to stay in the bathroom.
Was it a lady that you knew?
No.
Okay. Did you see which direction the male went?
No. Well, he ran towards the other end of the aisle.
Okay. Do you know this defendant seated over here?
Yes.
And what's her name?
Sheila.
How do you know Sheila?
She was like a supervisor for the company I was working for.
Okay. Was she working on the day of the shooting?
Yes.
And what was her job?
I guess to just really make sure that we was just doing everything and getting all the counts in.
Was she like your supervisor?
Yes.
Okay. Now, on that day, the day of the shooting, did you see Sheila periodically through your shift?
Yes.
How was she acting?
Some like regular, and then like towards like the end of the the shift, she was like acting kind of weird. Like she really didn't say anything.
Back at that time, what was your shift? In other words, what time did you start and what time did you end?
Like 5 to like maybe 2 or 3.
5 a.m. or p.m.?
a.m.
And on this particular day, were you guys toward the end of your shift?
Yes.
Ms. Penn, while you were working that day, did you interact with Brooklyn?
Yeah, we was talking as we was going like down the aisles, other aisles.
Okay. Did you see her on a pretty regular basis during the day?
Yes.
How was she acting?
Like her regular self.
Did she ever seem scared or concerned?
No.
Nervous?
No.
Those are my questions, Ms. Penn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a few quick questions, young lady. What was your relationship with Brooklyn?
I was just a friend, coworker.
At work or socially?
At work.
Didn't know her socially pretty well?
No.
And anybody else at work you were close to, or just basically work relationship?
Yeah.
And you knew Sheila from work?
Yes.
Anything social?
No.
You have any knowledge of Sheila's relationship
No.
to Brooklyn?
No.
Okay. How long you been there? How long were you there when this happened?
Sorry?
How long had you been working there when this happened?
Maybe a couple months.
Couple months. Okay. Did you know Brooklyn had a child or anything like that? You know anything about her personal life?
Not really, but I knew she had a baby.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you.
Just is she free to go? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Thank you.
It's really terrible to have to witness that at work. But she comes in and gotta commend her for her bravery to come talk about it. All right, we'll take a break here. Coming up next on Court TV, prosecutors reveal disturbing text messages between the defendant and her son in the revenge mom murder trial of Sheila Agee. Plus, the state rests its case in the return mail murder trial in Montana. Could Jordan Palmer take the stand to testify in his own defense? We'll have a quick look at day 5 of testimony, so keep it here on Court TV, your front row seat to justice.
You see him walk up to Brooklyn.
Yes.
And then you said he tapped her on the shoulder?
Yes.
Okay, and then what did you hear him say?
You gave me something.
What did Brooklyn do at that point, if
He just gave, well, she really gave him like a blank look. I didn't really hear her say anything.
Okay. And then what do you see next?
That's when he pulled his firearm and
Okay.
then proceeded to shoot.
We are watching the revenge mom murder retrial of Sheila Agee. And it's a retrial because in the first trial, the judge dismissed the case based on issues with the jury, misconduct and intimidation in that jury room. So here we are again for a retrial. Let me bring in my guest before we head back to court. Here to discuss, criminal defense attorney Silva Megerditchian. Silva, great to see you as always. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on the program. Great to see you. First and foremost, I want to get your thoughts on this particular defendant, Sheila Agee, who did not pull the trigger. We're going to get ready in a little bit to hear some of the text messages, but according to the state, her text messages are what drove her son to do what he did, so she's charged as a principal. That means she's going to face the same penalties as if she pulled the trigger herself. Your thoughts on this?
Yes, first of all, Michael, my friend, it's always an honor and a pleasure to be here. Yeah, look, the text messages are incredibly damning. And the fact of the matter is, it's clear encouragement. She even provides an address to her son. It's despicable. Even like ways of shooting her. It really does show that she didn't try to calm him down. She really did want him to shoot her. And the saddest thing about this, too, is not only did an innocent girl die, but according to reports, she didn't even give him the STD. She actually didn't have anything. So just a tragic story. And it just shows, you know, you cannot encourage someone to commit a crime because you can be charged as an equal. And I think this mother did really a disservice to herself and her son, obviously.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, depending on the level of encouragement, I have no problem at all with someone being charged as a principal in a case like this. All right, Silva, stand by. I want to take folks back to that Florida courtroom now. The jury heard from another witness and co-worker of the victim. This one is Tiana Thomas. She's here on direct examination.
Do you know what kind of car Sheila Agee drove back then?
It was a big black truck, not exactly sure of the make and model.
Okay. And do you know if Miss Agee would transport some of the employees to work?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know how many?
Her truck usually fits about 3 in the back, 2 on the middle row, and then her and another person in the front.
If you will, to the left of you, you should have a picture there. If you will just flip it over and take a look at that, that's State's Exhibit number 47.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recognize who's in that exhibit?
Brooklyn.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Those are all my questions.
Good morning.
And how long had you been working with that firm?
Can you repeat yourself, please?
How long had you been working?
Maybe about 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
If that.
You know Brooklyn?
Yes, sir.
Socially or just at work?
Just at work.
Okay. You know she was had a child? She had a father
Yes, I
to the
did.
child?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Okay. Had you ever seen the father outside of work?
No, sir, not before that.
Ever seen him? You never saw him at work either?
No, sir.
And I guess you'd known Sheila for that same amount of time, 2, 3
Yes,
months?
sir.
Okay. What's your relationship with Sheila?
She was just my supervisor.
Okay. And do you know her relationship with Brooklyn?
Not really, no, sir.
Okay. Okay. And I think you were testifying earlier, it seemed to you, and let me see if I can phrase it, that maybe Sheila was a little preoccupied. Would that be a proper word?
Yes, sir. That's kind of, that fits.
Okay. You ever talked to her about, why she seemed preoccupied? You have any idea?
No, sir.
Okay. All righty. Thank you, young lady.
Can you redirect? No, Your Honor. Is she free to go? She is. All right.
All right, so after that witness, the jury then heard from an investigator who revealed those text messages of the defendant allegedly directing her son on what to do and what not to do. This is the crux of the case, so let's listen in.
So who are the blue text messages?
The blue text messages is Keith Agee.
Okay, and then the other color is going to be what?
Gray.
And who is that?
Sheila Agee.
Okay, and if you will just do your best to read these into the record, starting with the first text message at 10:37 a.m.
At 10:37 a.m., she gave me gonorrhea. And if you think I'm lying, I'll call them back and we can three-way them. But I don't even care no more. She low down. Anyway, can you pick up Casey for me tomorrow, though?
Okay, let me stop you real quick. Do you know who Casey is?
Yes, ma'am.
Who's that?
It's the common child between Keith Agee and Brooklyn Sim.
Okay. Next text message is gray. So who is this?
Sheila Agee.
Okay.
No, I don't believe you lying. If that's what you say, I don't have no reason to think you lying. Yes, I'll get her tomorrow. I'm still Florida right now. Okay. She still work out of town with you? Yes. Okay. Y'all come back this evening? Yep. Okay, I'll be waiting on y'all in Citro. That bitch might ASL call the law, because ain't no way she gonna do me low down. Then try to flip on me and be able to ride to work with you and get a job from you. That's the reason that B lied to me, but I got something for that. You're gonna get in trouble, but that's up to you. Trouble. Prison, bah. Hey, that's my choice, just like it is for you to continue to pick her up. I ain't saying fire her or some, but let that dirty bitch find her ride to that.
Things escalated quickly there. All right. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala. Another brand new trial is underway here at Court TV. This one in Florida. It's called the Revenge Mom Murder Retrial for Sheila Agee. The defendant, Sheila Agee, faces a jury for the second time for first-degree premeditated murder. Prosecutors believe that she encouraged her son Keith to shoot and kill the mother of his child, 18-year-old Brooklyn Sims, back in 2023. Now, Keith, he confessed to the shooting and was sentenced to life in prison in his case. Now, Sheila Agee's first trial ended in a mistrial due to a juror misconduct after one member of the panel was caught doing a crossword puzzle during the trial and deliberations, and apparently there were some screaming matches in the jury room and jurors felt intimidated. All right, let's go back inside that courtroom now for more of those text messages between the defendant and her son.
I promise I'm head back to get it and give it to you, because I'm done told you about cussing me. I told you you don't have to respect me, but you not going to disrespect me. Keith, you disrespecting me, trying to tell me if I love my child or not. Keith, that's your problem. You don't see TS, but again, I think it's a woman thing. Keith, she gonna be out on the floor, right? Question mark. Keith, 45 away.
Go back. Was that text message with the Home Depot address sent from Keith's phone or Sheila's phone?
Sheila's phone.
Okay.
Keith, question, is she gonna be on the floor, right? Sheila, thumbs up, waiting on you. Keith, I'm saying I'm gonna have to find her in the back or something. Keith, question mark. Sheila, nope. Keith, okay. Sheila, but just know I'm be the first you see, but I ain't even told her you were coming. So you good, but you're gonna see me for cussing me. Keith, let it be after then. Sheila, no, I'm gonna come out. She will be in, she won't know nothing. Keith, I'm not studying you right now, so sure, IDM. Sheila, okay. Sheila, I'm gonna show you today what it means to love your child. You will understand when you're chilling with your daughter one day. Keith, stay out of my way. Sheila, I am. Keith, only warning I'm give you, I'm not studying you. You never help anyways. Hindering me is what you do, and stay out my way for once. Don't help Brooklyn. If you want to show me some, you can after. I'm done with her. I have no problem with that. Sheila, only warning you giving me, LOL, bitch. Brooklyn might be scared of you, but I ain't. Keith, I don't expect you to be. Sheila, come on. Keith, light, come on. Keith, you probably done called the police for that girl. Sheila, I swear to God, I ain't told her nothing about you. Sheila, but I hope you ain't stupid enough to think you ain't going to jail, because that's definitely where you're going. Keith, oh, nah, jail or dead, one, the two. Sheila, yeah, that way. Keith, liked, yeah, that way. Sheila, probably best because something wrong with you. You don't need to be around Kai or Casey. Keith, something wrong with you. That must be you. That must be why you didn't take care of Kai.
Let me stop you real quick. Do you know who Kaya is?
Yes, ma'am.
Who's that?
Another mom child with Sheila.
I'm sorry?
Sheila's
Okay.
daughter.
Okay.
Keith, oh, Sheila, I wouldn't hurt her, you stupid. Keith, LOL, man, get off my phone. All I needed was the address. Leave me alone. Finish your work today. Keith, and you is too. Keith, I forgot, just me. Sheila, bet. I ain't stupid as you. Come on, dummy. Keith, yeah, me though. Point proven, thank you. Knew I wasn't tripping, you. Keith, yeah, you called the police. Sheila, okay, if you're trying to say I called the law, okay, God, I ain't called nobody. Sheila, I swear to his on Casey, I ain't called no law or told her nothing. Keith, you wouldn't be texting me still if you didn't. LMAO. Any other time, you will leave me alone. Sheila, if I called the law or told her anything, I hope Kaya never takes another breath. Sheila, I laughing at you because you're stupid enough to give up your whole life for a bitch that you don't want.
All right, let's bring back in criminal defense attorney Silva Megerditchian. And Silva, I want to get your thoughts on what we're hearing. And I have some, but I want to get yours first.
Yeah, Michael, here's the thing. It's awful and it is incendiary and it's just, she does provide the address. She does provide encouragement. There's a little undertone there, though, of a little bit of fear. I mean, he's constantly saying you're going to call the police. You know, she says, I'm not scared of you, essentially like, you know, your girlfriend is. There are little undertones there that maybe could mother claim intimidation by the son, that she had to talk this way or she would have been a target. That's what I would go as a defense attorney for her. But it reminds me so much of that. Remember, Michael, the Michelle Carter case that Court TV covered? That was the case where the girlfriend encouraged her boyfriend, oh, just do it, just kill yourself. You don't mean anything anyway. Remember that case? There's so many similar undertones there where she didn't pull the trigger, but the encouragement was enough that he committed the crime of killing himself. In this case as well, you have a mother who had every opportunity to calm down the situation, encourages the situation, provides the address, and then, you know, really calls her names and really just is an awful model to this young man who falsely believes this innocent girl gave him an STD.
You know, I agree with you on some level, but I want to throw this out there. As I listen to these text messages, I get the sense of a weird relationship between mother and son, right? And this seems to me maybe the way that this mother parents this child in a very sort of hard way. There's a lot of people out here who feel like, hey, you know, we live in a tough situation. You can't be a baby. You know, you're acting like a baby. So I'm going to play along here with you, because here's part of the problem when you deal with text messages, which essentially is how they're proving this case. They are provocative. You cannot deny that. But could they be sarcastic? That's the problem. You can't get sarcasm in text messages, because the way the defense in this case went at it, Silva, is they're saying they had no concept that he was capable of this. So them talking to him this way, or her talking to him this way, would have to have been sarcastic.
You know, Michael, but the whole problem that the prosecutor is going to focus on, it's so sarcastic, but the address was realistic. She provides that address directly to him. So that argument is, you know, she would have never provided the location of how to do it. And then I would never call the police. Those are, that there cannot be sarcasm to such a direct comment. I would never call the police on you. I would never do this. I would never do that. You're going to jail. And the way he says it, well, I'm going to go to jail or I'm going to be dead. You can't insert sarcasm on such black and white conversation. So that argument is a little bit, I don't think the jury is going to respect the argument from the defense by claiming that this back and forth was sarcasm from a mother who believed in tough love. If you truly believed in tough love, you would be incredibly tough on him, but not providing the direction to him on how to commit the murder. That, I think, is going to be the toughest part. But I'll tell you, though, again, as a defense attorney, she looks like a lamb in all of the pictures. I mean, she just looks so, you just feel horrible. But what she did is unbelievably so wrong in every sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a complicated but simple story of bad parenting.
Yeah, and you're right. To look at her, you don't think that she would do something like that. And, the way the defense is going, they said, well, one of the things she's saying to him is, look, if you do this, your daughter's going to be without a father. So it seems like maybe she's, it's like she's caught between these two worlds. I can't make sense of it. But their defense is she had no concept that he was capable. I'm not sure that's a great defense, because the idea is if he was the kind of kid that she thought wasn't capable, and then he ended up doing it, then the one thing that drove him to do it was your words.
And not only that, Michael, look at what the prosecutor did, right? He was reading the text messages. He passed through the address without mentioning it. The prosecutor purposely pointed him back. Hey, who sent the address? She did. I think that is really one of the biggest pieces of evidence towards the importance and direction of that text messaging. And I think, again, that's what the prosecutor is going to really point her finger at. Again, I think the prosecutor can really focus on she could have taken this in such a different direction, and she chose not to, whether sarcasm, whether she never thought her son would do it. She definitely encouraged the act, even though she said you could be punished beyond words. I mean, look what you're facing, but here's the address. Good luck, come home afterwards.
Yeah,
it's
you're
just
right.
disgusting.
And there's an undertone that maybe she wasn't happy with that whole relationship anyway. She's kind of like, you're going to spend the rest of your life with someone that you don't really love. So there's a lot, just so much going on there, so much. All right, stand by, Silva. I want to take a break here. When we come back up, we're going to play you a little bit more of the medical examiner. He's going to tell us a little bit about the injuries in this case. Again, because you also, in this case, because she's charged as a principal, you have to prove murder. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back. Keep it here on Court TV. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala. We're watching the first day of testimony in the Revenge Mom murder retrial playing out in Florida. I want to take you back inside the courtroom now. On the stand is the chief medical examiner.
During the course of Brooklyn Sims' autopsy?
Yes, ma'am.
And are they fair and accurate visuals of the injuries and the locations that they depict?
Yes.
Judge, at this time I would move states 93 through 102 into evidence. I'm asking to move states 93 through 102 into evidence.
You may.
All right, not sure exactly what the delay is there, but as I mentioned earlier, because she's being charged, the defendant in this case is being charged as a principal, the prosecution also has to prove the fact that there was a murder, not just the fact that there were these texts encouraging her son, et cetera, et cetera. They must prove that there's a murder, and that's why we heard witnesses coming in and talking about the actual shooting. Now the medical examiner talk about the injuries and cause of death. Looks like they've gotten going again. Let's get back in the court.
This is State's Exhibit 96.
96 shows a view of Ms. Sims, the back of her left arm, where you can see 3 gunshot wound defects that are entrance wounds, as well as a couple of the re-entrance wounds that are over her left chest.
This is State's 97. Excuse me, 97.
97 is a photograph of Ms. Sims and on the right side of her face. It shows gunshot wound defects to her right cheek, right side of her chin, right side of her neck, and over the right upper shoulder.
This is State's 98.
98 shows her right upper arm and right shoulder. Again, we can see 2 defects over her right side of her neck, and then, 1 defect over the right side of her neck and 1 over the top of her right shoulder, as well as another gunshot wound over her right breast. And in the center of her right arm is a fresh contusion or bruise.
This is States 99.
This is this is a view of the palmar side of Ms. Sims' right arm, and you can see a gunshot wound defect over her right wrist.
This is States 100.
100 is a photograph of the back of Ms. Sims, including the back of her head, with her hair pulled up. You can see a small gunshot wound defect over the back of her neck, and then there are 2 gunshot wound defects over her back.
This is States Exhibit 101.
101 shows an up-close view of the back of Ms. Sims' head and neck with the hair shaved around the 2 gunshot wounds.
And this is States Exhibit 102.
102 is a photograph of the projectiles and the projectile fragments that were recovered from Ms. Sims.
Do you know how many total wounds did she have?
Ms. Sims had a total of at least 29 gunshot-related injuries that consisted of entrance, re-entrance wounds, exit wounds, and graze wounds.
So not necessarily that she was shot 29 times, but some went in, went out, came back in, went back out.
Correct.
Okay. Now, on page 2 of your report, if you have that in front of you, you've got 4 gunshot wounds to the left upper arm and torso. Can you describe for the jurors the path that those bullets took?
Sure. So I clustered these 4 gunshot wounds that represent 4 different bullets that enter over the left lateral and upper, and some of them were even a little bit posterior arm, that then went through the soft tissues of her left arm, and then they all exited on the inside of her left upper arm, and then they re-entered over her left lateral chest, or the side of her chest. And these projectiles end up perforating the left 5th rib, the pericardial sac, which is the tough membrane around your heart, the great vessels of your heart, or the root of your heart, the heart itself, both the right and left lungs, the right 2nd rib, the right axilla or right armpit, and the soft tissues of the right upper arm. And then invariably, some of them went on to her right axilla and right upper arm, and some ended up stopping over the right side of her chest.
Did you see any evidence of close range firing with that group?
Yes, there was evidence of close range firing over the wounds, the cluster of wounds over the back of her left arm.
And what does that mean?
So that means, so I saw there are 2 different features or characteristics that we see when we have gunshot-related injuries. One of them is soot, and that is indicative of very close range, less than 2 inches, and that's a black discoloration that tattoos the skin like a dark gray color, which I did not see in this case. And the second feature or characteristic of gunshot entrance wounds of close range of firing is called stippling. Stippling is small, tiny punctate abrasions that surround the gunshot entrance wound that represent the unfired gunpowder as it's striking your skin. So it leaves a little abrasion or a little mark. And we can see stippling, usually start to see stippling at 2 inches and up to 2 feet for most firearms. And so that means that when I say 2 inches to 2 feet, I don't mean that's how far somebody is standing away from her when they fire the gun. That is from the end of the barrel of the gun to their skin.
The gunshot wounds on the left side of her neck, can you tell the jurors the path that those took?
So over the left side of the neck, there was one gunshot wound that ended up perforating the skin and soft tissues of the left back of the neck. It coursed between the base of the skull and what your head sits on, the first cervical vertebra. It transects the cervical spinal cord in this area, and then perforates and fractures the right side of her facial bones, including her maxilla and her mandible, and perforates the skin and soft tissues over the right side of the face.
The gunshot wound to the right side of her neck, can you describe the path that bullet took?
So over the right side, it was the right posterior side, so the right back of her neck. This wound entered the right back of her neck and then just almost immediately exited over her anterior right side of her neck. So this only went through soft tissues and did not hit any vital vasculature or organs.
Dr. Lusky, what is your opinion as to Ms. Sims' cause of death?
Her cause of death is multiple gunshot wounds.
And the manner of her death?
Homicide.
Thank you. Those are all my questions.
All right, so there it is, determined to be a homicide. Now, the medical examiner was the last witness called by the state. There was no cross of this witness, and right after that, the defense went for a directed verdict. Judge denied it. So what we're going to have is the state actually rested their case in chief. Then the defense, they're going to begin their case tomorrow. Now, we're not exactly sure if the defendant will testify or not. We'll have to wait and see on that. I want to thank Silva Megerditchian for being with us tonight. And folks, I want you to stick around, though, because coming up next, we're going to review the 3 things that we've learned today in the cases that we've been covering from coast to coast right here on Court TV.